Okay, so let's be real for a sec. You know how sometimes you just kind of daydream about like a total career makeover?
Oh, yeah.
Like you picture yourself doing something completely different.
Totally.
It could be because you're, facing redundancy or like totally stuck where you are, or maybe you just, kind of curious about what else is out there.
Yeah.
But figuring out that next move, it can be seriously daunting.
Oh, for sure.
So where do you even begin?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And actually, there's this company, Changekey Partnership, and they've been helping people answer that exact question since way back in 1994.
1994.
Yeah.
Wow, that's before like the internet even really took off.
Right.
They must have seen so much change in the job market.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. All the shifts since then.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of history tells you they've not just survived, but they've actually thrived through a ton of disruption.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes you wonder what they've learned about not just, staying afloat, but actually finding fulfilling work in the middle of all that change.
Especially because Changekey focuses on this very specific kind of career coaching. Like, they work directly with individuals one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And their website really highlights this kind of personal touch.
Yeah.
Especially in the testimonials.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's not just about, like, landing a job.
Right.
People are talking about, like, finding their confidence and really understanding their strengths.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like they address the emotional side of career change,
Totally.
And that can be huge.
Because, let's face it, even if you know you're in the wrong job,
right,
taking that leap is scary.
It is. It is.
And Changekey points out that over 60% of their clients actually just fell into their current roles. Like no clear goal. They just kind of ended up there.
Wow.
Does that surprise you?
It's probably more common than we realize.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many of us, especially early on, had a truly clear vision of our ideal career?
Right.
It's so easy to get swept along by circumstances or family expectations or just what seemed available at the time.
Totally.
But that falling into a career that can really make you feel stuck later on.
And that's where Changekey's approach gets really interesting.
Okay.
They offer services like psychometric testing and coaching for assessment centers.
Interesting.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what those are.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
Psychometric tests, they're essentially personality and aptitude assessments.
Okay.
So they help reveal not just your skills, but also your work style, how you think, what motivates you.
Interesting.
And actually, a lot of employers use them these days.
Yeah.
But what Changekey does is they use that data to help you understand yourself better.
Oh, so it's not just about like passing a test for a job.
No.
It's about gaining self-awareness.
Exactly.
That could actually benefit you across your entire career.
Absolutely. It's all about figuring out who you are, what you're good at, and where you'll really thrive.
I like that.
And then there's the coaching for assessment centers, which means they're prepping people for those intense multi-stage interviews that companies are doing now. Think like group tasks, presentations, simulations.
It sounds intense.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
But Changekey helps people navigate these really complex hiring processes.
Right.
So they're doing two things, really. They're helping individuals understand themselves, and they're equipping them to succeed in a really competitive job market.
Which makes sense because their whole philosophy seems to be about finding a career that truly fits you.
Yeah.
Like you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a blog post on their site called The Secret Career Question. It's written by one of the partners, Jeff Priestley.
Woo! A secret.
Right.
I'm intrigued.
He argues that the key question is, does this job allow me to express who I am? It's not just about skills and experience.
Right.
It's about finding that alignment between your work and your authentic self.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really ties back to everything we've been discussing. It's not just about getting any job. It's about finding the right one for you.
Yeah.
And Changekey seems to have built their whole approach around helping people achieve that.
Which makes me wonder, what is it about Jeff and Lynn Priestley specifically that would make someone choose them for this kind of deeply personal career coaching? Mm-hmm. Like, what sets them apart?
Well, for starters, their long history in this field, speaks volumes.
Right.
They've been doing this for over 30 years. They've seen trends come and go. They've helped people navigate recessions and booms and everything in between.
So they've got that kind of seasoned wisdom, that we've seen it all perspective, which I imagine could be really reassuring for someone who's feeling lost.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. You're facing a career crossroads.
What?
Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want someone who's not just book smart, but has that real world experience?
Yeah.
Guiding people through similar challenges?
Absolutely. Especially in today's world, you know, where things are changing so fast.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding a job for now.
Right.
It's about building a career that can, like, adapt and thrive in the future.
Exactly. And, you know, their location might actually play a role in that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're based in Nottingham,
Okay.
not London.
That is interesting. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
What makes you think that their location matters?
Well, London is often seen as like the place to be for career opportunities, right? But it can also be incredibly competitive and overwhelming.
True.
So being outside of that bubble might allow Changekey to offer a more personalized and focused approach.
Just like getting a breath of fresh air, you know?
Yeah.
Stepping back from the frenzy to really assess what you want,
Exactly.
not what everyone else is doing.
It's about finding that right fit for you.
Right.
Not just chasing the latest trend or trying to squeeze yourself into a mold that doesn't quite work.
And maybe being outside of London gives them a different perspective on the job market itself.
Oh, for sure.
They're not just working with people who are chasing, you know, high-powered corporate gigs.
Right.
They're working with people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
With all sorts of aspirations.
Right. Exactly. And that diversity of experience, that's probably a huge asset.
Right.
They've likely seen how people from all sorts of backgrounds have successfully transitioned into new roles.
Yeah.
Maybe even roles that they never would have considered before.
It makes me think about those transferable skills that people talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe being in Nottingham allows them to be more creative and open-minded about how those skills can be applied.
It's like they're saying, it's not just about where you've been, it's about where you want to go, and we'll help you figure out how to get there.
I love that.
Yep.
Okay, so they've got experience, they've got perspective, they've got this focus on individual needs.
Mm-hmm.
But what about their actual methodology?
Yeah.
How do they go about helping people find that right fit?
Well, remember those psychometric tests we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Those seem to be like a key part of their process.
Okay.
They use those assessments not just to identify your skills, but to really delve into your personality, your work style, your values.
So it's about data-driven self-discovery.
Yeah.
Not just what do you think you're good at, but what does the data say about your strengths and how you operate best?
Right. And I think that's really important for someone who's feeling lost in their career.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to doubt yourself, to second guess your choices.
Totally.
But having that data, that objective perspective, can be really validating and empowering.
It's like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I'm good at. Let's build from here.
Exactly. And it allows them to be much more targeted in their advice and guidance.
Right.
You know, they can say, based on your profile, here are some career paths that might be a good fit. Here are some skills you might want to develop. Here are some strategies for approaching the job search.
It takes the guesswork out of it, which makes me think maybe that's another reason why someone would choose Changekey.
Yeah.
It's not just about, you know, warm and fuzzy encouragement.
Right.
It's about a structured, evidence-based approach.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's that blend of the human and the analytical that makes them stand out.
Yeah.
They're not just saying, follow your dreams. Right.
They're saying, let's use data and experience to create a roadmap for achieving those dreams.
And I have a feeling that the fact that it's a partnership, Jeff and Dylan Priestley, adds another layer to that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
Remember, we were curious about what makes them uniquely qualified.
Yeah.
Well, having two sets of eyes, two sets of experiences on every client situation must bring so much more to the table.
It's like having your own personal advisory board, but for your career.
Yeah.
And they've both been doing this for so long.
Right.
They've probably seen and heard it all.
Which also means they've probably helped people overcome every obstacle imaginable.
Yeah.
Job loss, career changes, returning to work after a break, navigating tricky office dynamics.
So they've got the experience. They've got the data-driven approach. They've got the location advantage. They've got this collaborative partnership dynamic. Anything else that might make them stand out?
Well, remember that blog post we mentioned, the secret career question?
Yeah.
That focus on expressing who you are through your work.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of their appeal.
Because it's not just about finding a job. It's about finding meaning and purpose in what you do.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially if they've been in a role that's no longer fulfilling.
Right?
Changekey seems to tap into that deeper desire to align your work with your values, your passions, your unique way of seeing the world.
It's like they're saying, don't settle for a job that just pays the bills. Find a career that lets you shine.
And that's incredibly powerful, especially in today's world where work-life balance is so important.
Yeah.
It's not just about earning a living. It's about living a life that you're proud of, a life that feels authentic to who you are.
And maybe that's the real key to why someone would choose to work with Jeff and Lynn Priestley. It's not just about their experience or their methodology.
Right.
It's about their underlying philosophy.
Yeah.
They genuinely believe that everyone deserves a career that brings them joy and fulfillment. And they've created a space where people can explore that possibility without judgment.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's that combination of expertise, empathy, and a genuine belief in their client's potential that makes them so special.
Right.
They're not just offering a service, they're offering a partnership, a guiding hand on a journey of self-discovery.
And that's something that you can't really quantify or measure.
No.
But you can definitely feel it.
You can.
It's that intangible human connection, that sense of being seen and understood that can make all the difference.
Absolutely. It's like having a cheerleader in your corner, someone who believes in you even when you're doubting yourself.
Yeah.
And that kind of support can be invaluable when you're making big decisions about your future.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Changekey Partnership, I think we've uncovered some pretty compelling reasons why someone might choose to work with them. They've got the experience, the data-driven approach, the unique location advantage, the collaborative partnership dynamic,
Right.
and most importantly, that underlying belief in the power of finding fulfilling work.
And ultimately it comes down to this. If you're feeling stuck in your career, if you're craving a change, if you want to find a job that truly allows you to express who you are, then Jeff and Lynn Priestley might just be the partners you've been searching for.
They've been helping people navigate these challenges for decades.
Yeah.
And it seems like they've created a pretty remarkable space for transformation and growth. So if you're ready to take that next step, don't be afraid to reach out. You deserve a career that brings you joy.
Absolutely.
And they might just be the ones to help you find it.